So this morning, whoever handles security for the set of Batman v Superman must have gotten a pretty angry call from Warner Brothers. Or the Warner Brothers PR department handed out high fives across the board, as all anyone has been able to talk about today are these leaked photos of the Batmobile. And what a leaked set of photos these are. The thing's practically doing a supermodel turn at the end of the runway, working it for this Instagram photographer. So we're seeing the back of it, the top of it, the side of it. Really nothing left to the imagination. I guess the FBI should investigate this as well, perhaps, with all these leaked nudes on the internet. But then, of course, if the Batmobile didn't want these pictures out there, it shouldn't have posed for them. All right, so on a more serious note, I think this underscores the risk that studios take when they decide to shoot on location. Back in the day, they shot everything on the lot, and of course, they had tremendous control over security because the lots are these campuses where the paparazzi aren't able to get inside. But forget paparazzi, civilians are taking these photos, to the point where you might recall we discussed this, that on the set of Captain America the Winter Soldier, they had PAs holding up signs saying, please don't take photos of the film as you're giving away plot points and spoilers. And the internet was like, sorry, too bad. We just are so excited for this movie. And it really is a double-edged sword to have something that's so anticipated. People want everything they can get now. So I think that that's an interesting situation in and of itself. But first, let's talk about this actual Batmobile. I think that when Zack Snyder posted on the internet, this photo, the initial photo of the Batmobile a couple of weeks ago, or months ago at this point, nobody ever expected it would go all DeLorean on us. Now, it looks cool, but my only question is this have any utility, or is it just look cool? And I think that's Snyder's biggest problem, substance versus style, and does he value style over substance? Is he capable of substance? I think that one of the things that Nolan did so well was balance the two. His movie looked beautiful and it meant something. And I think that, not only to some degree are Snyder and Goyer playing catch up with the Marvel Universe, but also Nolan's trilogy. And I think that's my biggest concern here, how much this looks like the Tumbler. And they're making it increasingly hard for me to let go of Nolan's trilogy, which none of us really want to let go of. It was so good, particularly The Dark Knight, that, they're not making, it's like you want to forget an old boyfriend or girlfriend, and they keep calling you, or, you should unFacebook friend them, or, you shouldn't allude to them in your films. I think Man of Steel, it was confusing, being like, well, is this a new cinematic universe, or is, can Christian Bale's Batman still walk into frame? Especially because Nolan served as an executive producer on that film. So, when I see this Tumbler-esque Batmobile, I want to see it do Tumbler-esque things, and, it just brings back the memory of Nolan's Batmobile and his films. And I just think I would like a clean break. Now, it does look very cool. We see it here both from the front here, where it's much leaner. I don't think it's going to be able to flip over like the Tumbler did, and it's not going to have a bat pod. I loved the bat pod so much. But it seems to have some of the same utility aspects and also the military application. I think that was very clever when Nolan had Lucius Fox develop this for the military, and then Batman said, well, I want that toy for myself. So that was very good. And then also from the top here, it has kind of like, it looks to me, I have to say, designed very favorably in terms of a toy. I mean, this looks like it has lots of moving parts. It looks like it, it reminds me of those toys that are like, oh, I actually also look like a bug or some other animal, like a dragonfly or something. It has that element to it, and as far as I'm concerned. I mean, look, if I want to see Ben Affleck's Batman step out of this or pop out of it or whatever he's going to do with a lot of win. But we'll see. We'll see. As I said, I see this and I expect Christian Bale to get out of it. So we'll see. But I'm curious what you guys think of this Batmobile. I know we're all excited about it because the Tumbler is the coolest Batmobile to date. I think they've incorporated even in the comics, as I recall, the New 52, that design. And also, when The Dark Knight Rises was coming out and I was at Comic-Con that year, Warner Brothers, to promote the film, drove all the Batmobiles onto the lawn outside of the convention center. And they all looked amazing. I got to interview a number of the owners and designers of those different Batmobiles. I'll put a link to that video at the end here. But, you know, everyone agreed the Tumbler was the coolest. I mean, it really is just a beautiful combination of not just style and substance, but, you know, updating the material in a way that's still faithful to it. So I can see them not wanting to let the Tumbler go, but just like that X, you gotta break the connection. You gotta let it go, or else you'll never get over them, and you'll never give your new love a chance. So I'm curious to what you think of this, and also what do you think of the continued connection to the Nolan films, and then also how many more leaks can they have? You know, orchestrated by Warner Brothers or not. You know, we're still 2 years out from this film, or like a little under 2 years. I think yes, a little under 2 years from the movie, and we've seen so much of it. You know, I hope there are a lot of surprises in store, but you know, how many more leaks can there be? We've seen the Batmobile, we've seen everyone in their costume, we haven't really quite seen the villains yet, so maybe that's something they'll be able to save for 2015, but I'm just curious to how you feel about that as well. All right, thank you so much for tuning in, and you can check out some more episodes right now.